Hi, I'm Drutter, and it's the 18th of November 2013. You're looking at the monthly silver chart, the only bullish silver chart I can find on this thing. It goes weekly, daily, 5-hourly, hourly, half-hourly, etc., minute. But this is the most bullish chart that we can look at, so I'm going to start with that. But I'll show you the daily chart. Not that good. Here's today. Looks like we're breaking down below that level that we've been at since August. Going to the weekly. Looks pretty much the same chart. This is the drop from 35 at QE3 to infinity. And no, we have never been up to 35 since that time. The more dollars they print, the more value those dollars seem to have. But here we are at 20 bucks. And I think we are going to test that $18 level. Now, briefly before I continue, I want to say that I'm still posting videos under duress. You'll notice there's no comment section. That's because I can't interact with the comment section. I can partially view it, I can't fully view it, and I can't interact with it in any way. I can't comment, I can't rate, I can't even manage comments, I can't delete comments, I can't mark comments as spam, I can't unmark them as spam, and I certainly can't comment or reply to anything. So there is no comment section as far as I'm concerned. If only people who have accepted Google Plus can comment. That's a one-sided conversation, and we aren't going to have that conversation on this channel. If you want to talk using your Google Plus profile on YouTube videos, then go to another channel. You can always private message me. That appears to be still working, although I have some private messages out to Endless Mountain and Krabby Dog Tricks and a few others and haven't heard back. So if you guys are out there, could you check your private messages? I don't have any other way to contact anyone anymore, so if we could maybe keep that going, that would be great, at least until we figure out what to do. If YouTube's not going to change and give us back a comment section and other things that changed along with Google Plus at the same time, then I can't use the site. There's nothing here for me anymore. I can't just be uploading videos and then working on my next video. That's not what I'm here for, is just to put out videos and not have any interaction. I need to have the YouTube interaction. I'm not just being a brat or being annoying by that. There's no experience on YouTube except for that for me. Uploading of the videos is like about 5% of it. The rest of it is having contacts, having communication, being able to get feedback, being able to tell if I'm on the right track or not. And I can't do that just by private messages alone. I've noticed other channels with a lot of subscribers that are sort of in the same community here have accepted the Google Plus change, and in fact haven't even really spoken out against it at all. So a bit of solidarity would be nice from the other members of the community. It seems like everyone's just sort of sucking on Google's balls and not really caring that it affects everybody in this community to lose the comments section and to be forced to use a social networking site, Google Plus, that links up with all your other social networking against your wishes and grabs your phone number out of emails you've sent and hooks it up to your profile and you're not allowed to delete it, stuff like that. No, we don't accept that garbage. I did a short video yesterday about this mine explosion in Ouray County, Colorado. It's a silver mine primarily, although they do mine copper, gold, and lead as well. And there was 2 men killed yesterday and 20 injured. It was reported as an explosion first by this, it's called ouraynews.com. I guess it's a very small local news website. But they were talking about an explosion yesterday, 2 men dead because of the blast, and others injured because of inhalation of smoke particles and stuff like that. When the feds arrived, they took over the investigation, and then CNN put up an article saying there was no explosion. That has definitely been ruled out. Absolutely no explosion in the mine. It was just something else. We're not sure what, though. But then today, CNN and this local news website have both updated saying it was just gas inhalation that killed those people and that injured those other 20 guys. So you got to watch out for those noxious fumes, obviously. Mining is a very dangerous profession and very important profession as well, so my thoughts go out to the dead and to the wounded and their families. When it was first revealed by Edward Snowden and then others that the NSA was spying on us all illegally and against the Constitution, including other countries and leaders of other countries and such, a lot of people were outraged, of course, and several groups and organizations put up official challenges to the NSA and went all the way to the Supreme Court with it. Well, it took the Supreme Court 5 months, but today they quietly canceled all of those attempts to do anything about the NSA, so it's just going to keep on continuing, guys. We are not going to be able to get out from under this surveillance grid that is dropped down over top of us all. And we are just going to have to figure out another way because the courts are not going to do a damn thing. I'll attach this Reuters.com link down below. Apparently the Pentagon and the US military at large has been lying and defrauding the people of tens or hundreds of billions of dollars over the past several years. So I guess that is not news to anyone, but it's appearing on Reuters.com, so I thought I'd mention it. Well, here's some good news on Bloomberg. It's TEPCO successfully removes the first nuclear fuel rod at Fukushima. So there are several thousand of these things in different pools, literally pools, suspended above the ground, way up in these buildings that already exploded in 2011 when the fuel originally exploded and burned. But there is a huge amount of unexploded fuel that's sitting in this pool, literally in a pool of water, and if it's not kept cool and wet and dark and unjostled and untouched, then it will explode, detonating all of the other fuel rods and then detonating all the other fuel that's in the other buildings nearby on the plant as well. And if that happens, what I've read is essentially all of humanity will be dead very, very quickly. So that, of course, has to be avoided at all cost. And there's an article here, and this is very mainstream, but if you look into it a little deeper, you'll realize that these workers have never done this before. It has never been attempted, and it's been kept very quiet that this is going to be happening. But it does affect everyone on the planet because we could all die very, very, very quickly. The planet cannot sustain that amount of nuclear material going off in one spot. It just, the planet itself will still be there. There may be a large crater, the planet will still be there, but the life forms on the planet will not be there. So this, of course, is even more important than all the radiation that's leaking out, and yeah, the cancer rates around the world are going up, and all the radiation detectors in the west coast of Canada and the US have been removed so that we don't know how much radiation is coming over across the ocean into our countries. It's a large amount. It's in the milk, it's in the food. A lot of people are getting sick. But this is a lot more acute than that. This will kill everybody instantly. So I really hope that this continues to go well. Actually, what I really hope is that they will stop now immediately and get international help and get some experts in. I mean, no one's ever done this before, but this is thousands and thousands of Chernobyls just waiting to explode if they're jostled wrong. So it's in a very precarious spot at the top of this building, which already exploded in 2011 and is shaking and crumbling every time they get hit by another hurricane, another earthquake in that area, which happens all the time. These buildings are just falling apart. So they're under pressure, a lot of pressure to get this dealt with now, because like I said, if anything goes wrong there, if these fuel rods touch, or if these fuel rods are dropped or jostled or exposed to the air or light or anything really, they will go nuclear, and they will all go nuclear, and we will all die. So I'm not trying to spread fear or anything, but hopefully just getting everyone aware that there is something happening in Japan right now that can affect everyone, and well, it already is affecting everyone, but it could kill everyone very quickly. So I just hope this continues to go well. They've gotten one out and several thousand more to go. I imagine they took the easiest one first, the one at the very top of the pile that was in perfect condition and so forth. Here's the 5-year Dow chart. It's up more than 100% in the past 5 years, so congratulations to anyone who is invested in the U.S. stock market. The U.S. economy has doubled in the past 5 years. Excellent. 16,000 today. Great job. There is the Bitcoin chart. This is weak, each bar. Not too much to say about it. Here's the old high, about $200, and we moved past that and haven't looked back. Do I think it's going to keep going? Probably, yeah. It's 800 now, and it's probably going to keep going into the multiples of thousands, possibly into the millions. But, the chart will get ahead of itself at some points, This is a chart essentially of demand, as I mentioned before. There's no supply to take into consideration because supply is finite and fixed, very finite and fixed. There'll only ever be about 20 million of them altogether. And there's a heck of a lot more of all other types of currency out there. So it's going to be worth a lot more than any other currency in terms of Bitcoin. But Satoshis, which is what you get when you break down Bitcoins into like 1 million pieces, those might be somewhere around $1 each eventually. But for now, we're at about 800 bucks. And it may come down when this market that is very full of hot air right now, I think a lot of people are investing in it because it's going up. And once that stops happening, they will not invest in it. So when it comes down, it will probably come down hard. A lot of this is just fluff. A lot of this is just people that are just getting in because it's going up. And it will come down to some point. I don't know if it'll come down as far as 200. It could come down to 300 or 400. I don't know. I'm just guessing looking at the chart. This is all very unprecedented. None of this has ever happened before. Just like the Fukushima thing. We've never had an electronic currency that's uncontrolled by anyone, just sent out into the free market to see what will happen. And this is what happens, I guess. So we'll just have to keep looking at it and keep watching it. Do I own any Bitcoin myself? No, I don't. I've been paying attention since it bottomed at 1 cent. Da Vinci J15 was talking about it all back in those days, as you may recall. And that's when I started to look at it, even though I didn't like Bitcoin because it was A, unstable, and B, not accepted anywhere, not useful for anything, and C, it had no intrinsic value. So all that meant was it's not a good money. It could still be a good currency, and I didn't see that at first. By about 30 or 40 bucks on the chart, I guess somewhere back around here, I started to notice that it was going up, and I started to think, you know, this is actually a potential currency that could see use. And then we had that top at 200 and a consolidation and a bottom at 66. And since then, it just looked like it was going to catch on. And I thought if that ever breaks 150, it's just going to go to 1,000. And I think it's probably going to go to 1,000, and we're at 800 now. So, but you know, I've had a lot of people on my channel message me and say, I've done very well on Bitcoin. I had someone today actually say that they're a millionaire because of Bitcoin, and they only heard about it through my channel. So they said, can I send you some either Bitcoin or some cash just because I feel like I owe you something? And I said no, and if anyone else is thinking of messaging me, you know, thank you, but no. I won't take anything for that, not even your thanks, because when people who watch my videos and learn from my videos do well at their pursuits in investing in other things, that's great, but I don't want their thanks, and I certainly don't want a reward, because I would accept no blame if they had done poorly, right? We are all in this together, yeah, we're all learning this together, we're all educating, expanding our minds, practicing, trying things out and seeing how they work. Some of us are investing in things. That's great. But we don't share our winnings and our losses with each other. So I don't want any of your winnings because I wouldn't accept any of your losses. We're just discussing this stuff. So thank you to those people who have offered me significant sums of money, in fact. And I'm glad that you've done well. So I just hope that we can keep on learning about this. As I've said from the beginning with Bitcoin, it's something interesting, it's something to watch. It expands our knowledge of currency, and understanding currency is key to understanding money, and that's really what this channel is about silver and gold, which are real money. Breaking news, Toronto City Council votes to strip embattled Mayor Rob Ford of most of his powers after he recently admitted smoking crack. Well, here's the thing, almost everybody on the City Council in Toronto is using cocaine or alcohol or some other kind of drug. Well, of course, alcohol has been, quote, legalized, so we are allowed to use that drug. But they're using multiple different kind of drugs on Toronto City Council, as well as pretty much in all politics, as well as pretty much everywhere. So I guess just don't admit it. That's his mistake, is he admitted it. Don't admit you're using drugs, and just go on using them and then vote off the people who admit that they've used them. So we'll have a City Council consisting of drug users who are also liars. Excellent. Senate takes a close look at Bitcoin. This is something that we talked about a week ago. It was coming down the pipeline. I guess it's happening now. I don't know why they keep using this stupid picture of these Bitcoin. This is a physical version that someone invented at one point. It kind of came and went. Bitcoin is a currency. It's not coins. The name is kind of misleading. It's not coin. It's just Bitcoin, like US dollar or yen. It's not. They're not. They keep showing that because it makes people click on the article to read it, but that, it's very misleading. Bitcoin doesn't look like that. Anyhow, yeah, the U.S. Senate is saying that they need to crack down on Bitcoin because they are worried that Bitcoin is now being used by people who abuse children, murderers, people who club baby defenseless seals over the head just for the fun of it. Those kind of people are now using Bitcoin, apparently, and that is why Bitcoin needs to be controlled by the U.S. government. Well, good fucking luck. Now, almost as an afterthought, it's usually one of the main things I talk about, but just lately it's kind of obnoxious the way they aren't reporting all the numbers. Yes, November 1.36. This should be about 2.5 million right now if they were actually reporting the numbers. I don't believe that demand has dropped off that way. A couple of things. The numbers are very consistent. 3 million, 4 million, 3 million, 4 million, 3 million, 4 million, 3 million, 4 million. It's kind of a tongue twister, but anyway, it's not going to end up at 2 million this month. It's going to end up between 3 and 4 million. But it's not going to show that. In December, I think they're going to show almost nothing, because that's what they've been doing the past several years, is they just don't show much of November or December's actual sales. Then those appear on January. Wonder why we had 7.5 million sold in January, even though the mint can't produce that many? I mean, here in April they were saying that they couldn't produce this many. They couldn't produce more than 4 million per month. I remember that. They had to have sales stoppages in April because they can't produce more than 4 million per month. So we know that these, every time they have a January with 7 or 8 million, it's not true. And it just happens because they hold over all those numbers from December and November. Why do they do that? Well, they want to keep this number down. Unfortunately, that means they have to just do the same thing again next year. So it's not a winning strategy for them, but they're kind of trapped into doing it. Otherwise, this number is going to be ridiculous. It's already above the 2011 all-time high. That can't be avoided anymore. All they can now hope for is to keep it from looking too obscenely large. So anyhow, we know that number's not true, but we can take it over to our graph anyway. There's our graph, and we're now at 87% of the way done the year, and now clearly above that 2011 total, which came to just a shade under 40 million, and we're now at 41 and a bit million. So I still think we might be able to reach 42 or 43 by the end of the year, and that's even with their accounting tricks and whatnot. So we'll just have to take a look and see, but I think we're going to end up somewhere around there, not the 45 to 47 that I've been predicting all year. I think we've been robbed on that one, but yeah, it's definitely the best year of all time. A super quick update. After I recorded that, Bitcoin went from 780 to 900 in a few minutes, and since then, in only a few more minutes, has crashed down below 600. I think it's actually gone even further down if I refresh. It did hit 585, so very, very volatile. I think something might have happened with the exchange actually at $900. A bunch of really weird trades appeared suddenly, and things just fell apart. And now there's about a 5-minute lag between the sales and the price, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, that's just something that shows that Bitcoin is not ready to be a currency. It is a potentially excellent currency, but a currency does need to have some stability. And yeah, it needs to go a long ways up from where it is now. It needs to go into the thousands or into the millions, but it will be bumpy along the way. And this just goes to show you it's not ready yet. And of course, as soon as I got that edited into the video, things changed again. So here's a mini update. We're back to almost 800 now. Whoops, I was just setting up some Christmas lights and I accidentally dropped some of these beautiful silver Sativas and silver Indicas, and they scattered amongst the Christmas lights. Whoa, they sure are beautiful. Those would make excellent Christmas gifts for anyone on your list. This isn't a commercial or anything, I just thought I would mention that. Talk to you guys soon.